To us, a bamboo grove in Kyoto is a sanctuary of peace. But inches from the soil, governed by the unforgiving rhythm of the sun, lies a brutal, microscopic empire. Today, we will track the hidden titans of this jade forest from dawn until dusk. We will witness the geometry of death, the physics of armored combat, and if we wait until the shadows fall, we will see a miraculous, decades-long transformation finally break into the open air. "5 a.m. in Kyoto, and the bamboo grove rests in the quiet, muted blues of dawn. But beneath the macro lens, a complex wilderness emerges. This is a thriving micro-ecosystem, bound by the absolute laws of biology and the steady rhythm of the sun. As the heavy morning dew clings to the smooth green stalks, the master architect of this canopy, the Joro spider, scientifically known as Trichonephila clavata, awakens. She is meticulously grooming her legs. This is not mere vanity. Her survival depends entirely on sensory precision. Spiders possess specialized bristles near their tarsal claws, which function as microscopic chemical and vibratory receptors. These must be kept completely free of moisture and debris. At the microscopic level, her spinnerets prepare to repair the damaged web geometry, producing a golden silk woven from complex structural proteins. It is ounce for ounce stronger than steel, yet elastic enough to absorb the kinetic energy of the morning breeze. Below her, in a damp, mossy hollow, a solitary water strider balances effortlessly on a morning puddle. Notice how the water bends elastically downward under its weight, without breaking. This is a breathtaking display of surface tension physics. The strider's legs are densely covered in thousands of microscopic, hydrophobic hairs called microsetae, which trap a tiny cushion of air, rendering the insect virtually unsinkable. Complex compound eyes lock onto the slightest vibrations in the surrounding water, processing ripples as a highly accurate visual map of potential prey. Nearby, the forest floor is littered with dry bamboo sheaths. From within this detritus emerges an Asian lady beetle. Its bright red and black-spotted elytra are a textbook example of aposematism, a bold visual declaration of toxicity to any would-be predators. When threatened, this beetle can bleed reflexively from its leg joints, releasing a foul-tasting alkaloid rich in toxic pyrazines. But now, it merely twitches its clubbed antennae, decoding the chemical signatures of the damp air. As the diurnal insects begin their day, the nocturnal giants shut down their biological engines. A massive stag beetle, exhausted from a night of foraging, retreats to the damp safety of a rotting root. Thick, armored chitin protects the beetle while its spiracles quietly filter the cool, damp air. By compacting its large frame, the beetle blends perfectly into the shadows, conserving vital moisture. At the base of the mighty bamboo, encased in a dusty, soil-caked shell, a brown cicada nymph practices supreme patience. Having spent years underground feeding on xylem fluid, its powerful, claw-like forelegs now anchor it firmly to the bark. Inside this seemingly lifeless casing, driven by ectosteroid hormones, a miraculous biological reconstruction is quietly taking place, waiting for the evening twilight. High on a broad green leaf, a tiny samurai wasp diligently prepares its delicate wings. With its core temperature finally reached, it propels itself into the dense canopy. As the morning advances and temperatures climb, the forest canopy becomes a highway for apex predators. The formidable Japanese giant hornet arrives, vigorously chewing on the fibrous plant material with its massive mandibles. Its heavy jaws function like industrial shears, processing the hard bamboo into a pliable, cellulose-rich pulp to expand the intricate paper architecture of its colony's nest. The sheer, terrifying presence of the giant hornet commands the immediate retreat of smaller insects, initiating a temporary trophic cascade that alters the foraging patterns of the entire undergrowth. Massive flight muscles engage, generating a deep, intimidating hum that echoes through the hollow stalks. Drawn by the intoxicating scent of fermented tree sap, a crucial source of high-octane carbohydrates and ethanol, a Japanese rhinoceros beetle stakes its claim on a damaged stalk. Specialized brush-like maxillae efficiently sweep up the energy-rich liquid. Its magnificent forked horn, a weapon of pure leverage, acts as a stern warning to any challengers. The scent of sap is a powerful draw, inevitably bringing heavily armored titans into dangerous proximity. By mid-morning, the master architect, the Joro spider, meticulously calibrates the tension of its golden labyrinth. Every passing wing beat sends tiny air pressure changes across the highly sensitive web structure. Further down, the praying mantis utilizes behavioral camouflage, swaying gently to mimic the surrounding foliage blowing in the wind. Its highly evolved compound eyes, made of thousands of individual ommatidia, granted incredible stereoscopic depth perception and motion tracking capabilities. Patient and calculating, the mantis positions its deadly, spiked forelegs for a lightning-fast strike. These lethal spines are designed to trap and impale prey in a fraction of a second, ensuring there is no escape. As the intense midday heat approaches, the temperature spikes, drastically altering the behavior of the entire micro-ecosystem. Unlike insects, the giant centipede lacks a waxy, moisture-retaining epicuticle. To avoid fatal dehydration, it coils up in the deep shade beneath a mossy stone, minimizing its exposed surface area. Thick chitinous plates lock together, preserving internal moisture during the most brutal, desiccating hours of the day. Its fearsome, venomous pincers rest idly, waiting for the cooler, humid temperatures of the night. Exhausted from feeding and fighting, the rhinoceros beetle seeks refuge from the midday warmth. Incredible grip strength allows it to hang upside down beneath a massive bamboo leaf for hours. By engaging a passive locking mechanism in its joints, it requires zero active energy, or ATP, to maintain this gravity-defying hold. Microclimates beneath these broad leaves trap humidity, providing a vital thermal shield for resting giants. To survive the hottest hours of 1 o'clock, the Joro spider adopts a stiff, cross-like posture, pointing its narrowest profile directly at the sun to minimize solar radiation absorption. Breathing slows to a bare minimum. Even potential prey is ignored. Launching an attack in this heat costs more energy than the meal would yield. Overheating is a particularly deadly threat for the heavily muscled Japanese Giant Hornet. It uses its wings as a high-powered cooling system, while rapid abdominal pumping circulates fluids to prevent its flight muscles from literally cooking themselves. In extreme heat, it even regurgitates fluid onto its chest, utilizing the endothermic reaction of evaporative cooling to rapidly draw heat away from its vital organs. As the afternoon heat finally breaks and the soft, fading daylight returns, the forest begins a slow, secondary awakening. A samurai wasp emerges from a deep crease, its clubbed antennae twitching wildly to taste the shifting chemical gradients of the cooling air, searching for host eggs. On the forest floor, the giant centipede stirs from its subterranean slumber. Nearly blind, it relies entirely on highly sensitive antennae to chemically map its environment. Controlled by a complex chain of nerve ganglia, a mesmerizing metachronal wave of legs propels this terrifying biological machine forward. While spiders dominate the canopy, the centipede remains the undisputed master of the forest floor. As the heat dissipates, the massive stag beetle awakes and begins a determined ascent toward the sap flow. Driven by pure instinct, the armored titan bulldozes through obstacles. A confrontation over the fermented sap is inevitable. The Japanese rhinoceros beetle and stag beetle face off directly over the black, oozing patch. This clash is a masterclass in arthropod biomechanics. The rhinoceros beetle strikes first, utilizing its massive horn as a perfect biological pry bar, finding the exact fulcrum point beneath its rival. In retaliation, the stag beetle locks its mandibles, turning the struggle into a brutal test of raw grip strength. Flawless exoskeletal articulation allows these beetles to generate immense torque, lifting multiple times their own body weight without shattering their joints. Superior leverage prevails as the rhinoceros beetle violently breaks its opponent's anchor to the tree. Defeated and dislodged, the heavy stag beetle plummets toward the unforgiving forest floor. Its thick armor, cross-linked with specialized proteins, absorbs the terrible kinetic impact, allowing the giant to survive a fall that would shatter glass. Highly evolved to recover quickly, the beetle rights itself, immediately hiding from prowling centipedes in the lengthening shadows. By 6:30, twilight descends upon Kyoto, and the bamboo forest transforms into a spectacular arena of shadows. Basking in the fading golden hour, the Joro spider abandons its heat conservation posture, deploying wide bands of fresh silk to instantly neutralize a late foraging wasp. At the base of the stalk, triggered by the sudden drop in ambient light and temperature, the cicada nymph finally breaks its long, statue-like stillness. Years of subterranean dirt crack and fall away as the creature prepares for its final act. Claws, built for excavating solid earth, are now repurposed as heavy-duty climbing spikes. Scaling the vertical jade pillar, the nymph enters the highly contested mid-canopy zone, ignoring all surrounding life to secure an optimal horizontal branch. It drives its claws deep into the wood, ensuring the empty shell will remain firmly attached. Every muscle locks into place. The insect will never take another step in this physical form. Inside the hardened casing, triggered by a flood of molting enzymes, the ancient armor succumbs, fracturing straight down the midline. From within the dark, soiled husk emerges an alien body, pristine and incredibly vulnerable. Pumping fluid into its upper thorax, the adult literally forces its way out of its own skin. For the first time in years, completely new, highly complex eyes survey the twilight canopy. Hanging upside down, the wings, currently useless and compacted, are carefully extracted from their armored casings. Exposure to the oxygen-rich air triggers a rapid chemical cross-linking process across the fresh exoskeleton, hardening the chitin. Now comes the critical phase, routing immense hemolymph pressure straight into the newly formed wing veins. Like hydraulic fluid filling a complex scaffolding, the wings expand, transforming from crumpled buds into massive, perfectly engineered aerodynamic sails. Fluid is drawn back into the body, leaving behind a network of ultra-light, rigid, hollow tubes. The metamorphosis is complete, pristine and flawless. The iridescent wings catch the final deep blue light of the Kyoto evening. On the side of the male adult's abdomen, highly specialized muscles buckle the ribbed membranes of the timbal organs hundreds of times per second, testing their acoustic resonance. Soon, this single insect will command the sonic landscape of the entire forest. Armored, winged, and reborn, it folds its sails and prepares for the final stage of its life. As night falls over Kyoto, the micro-wilderness sings its ancient, eternal song among the jade pillars. This cicada has survived the perilous journey from the earth to the sky, but its new wings are soft, and the canopy above is not empty. To see how these newly hatched adults survive the ultimate gauntlet against nocturnal aerial hunters, click the video on your screen right now. The night shift is just waking up,